What's going on, guys? Welcome to Rants Red Talk, where we discuss all the topics you send through to me on Twitter. Sponsored by the One Football app. For all your up-to-date football news, make sure you scroll down into the description and download the app. And yeah, before we get started, Happy New Year, people. Obviously, it's New Year's Day. New Year, same me. Ain't nothing changing, fam. Like, we're just gonna keep it going, man. It's been a good last 12 months. Big up everyone for the support. This year's just gonna be bigger and better, but it's gonna be more of the same, just higher levels. You know how it is already. So big up for the support. Hope you lot have a good year ahead of yourself. Hope you had a good night last night. I got a clear head. I was chilling in with the family and the man them, so I'm ready to go in it. So yeah, let's just get into it. First one, at safe5044. With the January window about to open, it's open now, literally. What position would you say is urgent for us to address? For me, with the injury of Scott McTominay, we need more depth in the midfield, but I doubt with this board we will even sign anyone. I have to agree with you, bro. I don't think we're signing anyone. We're not signing anyone. United aren't a serious football club. It's that simple, innit? And Oli comes out with his latest nonsense, saying, "Oh, I don't want to bring someone in just for the sake of it," and talking about the chemistry of the team and unbalancing the dressing room and all this nonsense. Oli is literally a Glazer's dream, because he's talking out of his ass, to be completely honest. How can he say a squad that he sold Fellaini and got rid of Herrera in? How could he say in a squad that's depleted of midfielders only has 3 central midfielders, if you take into account that Matic probably will leave in January and he wants to leave? We've got Fred, Pogba, McTominay, one's not fit. How can he say that bringing in a central midfielder is going to disrupt the balance in a team when we don't have them? It doesn't make sense. It's the same with attackers. We used to play with 2 strikers. York Cole, Sheringham, Solskjaer. We used to play with 2 up front and we always had 4 strikers. But we're playing with 3 up front now and we only have 4. We have Daniel James, Mason Greenwood, who's come through, Martial and Rashford. So we're short. Make no mistake about it. We're short in that department. We're short in the central midfield department. But this guy thinks that we don't need to sign one urgently. This guy is either deluded beyond all belief, or he's covering up for the Glazers. Either one is, it can't fly with me, innit? It can't fly with me at all. So I don't think we are going to sign anyone. However, leading on to the next question, which says, it says AKA underscore Jason, bruh. Are we actually signing people in January? If so, who? We're not. We got linked with some bum at Benfica as well. I'm not even, bruv. I didn't even look him up when they linked man with him. Like, what kind of idiot business is this? For me, I will buy Christian Eriksen and I want Jack Grealish. We're getting linked with Madders, yeah? Maddison's a very good player. But for me, I think Jack Grealish is better. And he's in a relegation side. I think Aston Villa are cash strapped. And if we slapped 50 million down, they would give him to us. They would have to. Literally, you could get Eriksen and Grealish for probably a combined fee of about 80 million, yeah? In January, that's money very well spent. Very well spent. If we bag them 2 in Jan, top 4's on. I'd even argue top 3's on if we bag them 2. Because it's only fine margins with this squad. Like I said on the last Flex and Rant show, I believe first 15 players, everyone fit, yeah? I think our squad is up there. I think our squad's up there. It's definitely arguably top 3, because everyone was saying, "Oh, Tottenham got a better squad than us." But look at Tottenham, bro. Most of their players are past their best. I'd even argue, yeah, that Harry Kane's past his best. I think that he's peaked as well as a footballer. I don't think Harry Kane improves from here. That's not to say he's rubbish, because Rooney peaked early as well. I think Rooney peaked about 24 years old. So, and I think it's the same with Kane. I don't think we see Kane getting any better now. I don't think we see Ali getting any better now. Do you know what I mean? Their defenders, their goalkeepers are shambles, both of them. Anyway, the back line, Vertonghen's past his best. Toby's past his best. Danny Rose is past his best, or if they want to play Davis at left back, all these men are just past their best players, and I think that's why Pochettino was struggling. So I honestly think that man for man, we've got a top 3/top 4 first 15 players in the squad. So I think you bring Grealish and Eriksen into that automatically makes us top 3 with no conversation to be had. Let me know what you think about those first 2 points, guys, in terms of the midfield depth and also January business. But if I'm being completely honest with you, I don't think we're going to sign anyone. At DJ_Andy, in your opinion, is there a link between United's stance on the Haaland deal with Raiola's clause, United pulling out, and Pogba being out the squad completely against Burnley, considering his comments this morning? Or are they all a coincidence? Raiola's basically come out and said everything that I've been saying for months, and anyone that really cares about Manchester United as a football club and isn't just a cult follower, we're worried, innit? Like Raiola said, anyone that loves Manchester United has to be worried about the state of the club. Facts. United's recruitment's been poor. Facts. They don't have a clear structure or direction. Facts. He said that he wants Pogba to be playing in a team that's challenging for the league and the Champions League. Facts. So does Pogba, and I'm sure that's what he got promised when he signed for Manchester United. He also said Pogba wants to stay, and he also said that he thinks Pogba will stay. He said that Haaland chose to go to Dortmund because of the project. And I do not disbelieve him for 1 second. It says a lot about Solskjaer, that Solskjaer has managed Haaland before and he couldn't even convince him to come to Manchester United because the project at Manchester United is not appealing, guys. Borussia Dortmund are responsible for the likes of Marco Reus, Lewandowski, Aubameyang, Jadon Sancho, like Kagawa, Mkhitaryan. All these men have gone there, yeah, flourished, and either moved on to pastures new or better places, with the exception of Jadon, who will move on. They're very well known for playing young players, giving them a chance to develop. So, in all honesty, out of all the options he had, Dortmund was the best place to go. And also, he's going from one Bundesliga to another. So, the style of play is going to be quite similar. I think the German one might be slightly more physical. Slightly. But that's about it. So he's not taking a risk there. Actually, for his career, it was a very good move for Haaland. And it actually shows that the appeal of Manchester United isn't what it was, even though some of these other fans, yeah, seem to be deluded enough to believe that Manchester United is as big as they used to be. In terms of footballing decisions to make now, you don't want to spend your prime or your development years at Manchester United with an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer there. Like, there's nothing appealing about Solskjaer. You can't tell me for 1 minute if United didn't have a Poch or a Ten Hag or something like that, that young players wouldn't want to go to Manchester United. That's why they have to do this young British thing, because they're the only people that you don't need to sell the club to. It's an easy sell because them man are still living off nostalgia. If you're a foreign player and you want to develop, you want to challenge for titles, you want to win trophies, you're looking at Manchester United and you're like, so what, bruv? So what? When Haaland was a youth, like, Man United were crap, bruv. Like, really, like, when he got to an age where he was actually watching football, which is for most people is probably like in the early teens when they start to really take football in, United were already shit. So, do you know what I mean? There's no attraction to Manchester United for players of that age now. So, no, I think it is a coincidence. I honestly think that the Pogba thing, Pogba needed a rest. They said that he felt a reaction to his foot, which isn't a surprise. The guy had surgery and he was back a lot quicker than I thought he would be back. And now they're saying, oh yeah, Pogba hasn't travelled with the squad to Arsenal. I think Pogba's going to turn up and he's going to play today. I think he's probably going to start as well. So I'm not really worried. But after we have to wrap Pogba and cotton wool. He's been out for so long. I honestly do believe that he's back early because he just loves playing football. He probably shouldn't be playing now. I don't see how having your foot in a cast from having like a fracture, you can be fit to play football already. Like scientifically, it doesn't make sense. So for me, I feel like Pogba's rushing himself back, and he's felt something and he's worried. That's all it is. But with the whole media agenda, they're trying to make it out that, oh yeah, like Pogba's trying to like bully the manager or whatever. Pogba ain't got that in him, and everyone around the club loves Paul Pogba. All of the players love Paul Pogba. Even Rashi's latest interview, he said Pogba and Martial are his guys, bro. Everyone loves that guy. No one's mentioned anything bad about him from within the club. Neither has Oli. So there's no reason for anyone to believe that Pogba is a bad apple or he's bullying Oli, other than the agenda that people like Gary Neville and the mainstream media like to push. But nothing coming from inside the club suggests that has any grounds. Let me know what you guys think about that situation. Anas_488. Can you please tell these man why Fred is better than Kante? I put out a tweet the other day saying, oh, Fred's better than Kante, yeah, but it doesn't suit the agenda. And loads of people were like, oh, you're talking rubbish, this, that, and the other. What I've noticed about a lot of football fans, they need the mainstream agenda to be on course with what they believe so they can be convinced by it. Everyone talks about N'Golo Kante like he's the first ball-winning midfielder to ever play football. It's like some of you man only started watching football like 3-4 years ago, because ball-winning midfielders have been in football for years and years and years, and nobody has got more smoke blown up their arse more than Kante. The PR's beautiful, I must say. Kante is a lovely guy. Like, he goes to people's houses and watches match of the day. Like, he stays out of trouble, all of that. Amazing person. But when you're judging footballers, you have to look at their key attributes, what they deliver, what they do for their team, what their best attributes are, the biggest strengths, their biggest weaknesses. That's how I compare players. So when people are doing the Ronaldo and Messi debate, for me, like, it has to be Messi, bruv. Because yes, Ronaldo's the better athlete, but all things that don't require athleticism, yeah, Messi's better than Ronaldo at. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's dribbling, whether it's passing, whether it's shooting, like, do you know what I'm saying? Ronaldo's definitely two-footed and that, but Ronaldo blasts the ball and he's very powerful striker of the ball, but that comes down to athleticism. But Messi's dinking goalkeepers with his weak foot. Man dink Neuer blood and put fucking, what's his name, Jerome Boateng on his face, which was one of the maddest things of the decade. So when I look at N'Golo Kante, yeah, N'Golo Kante is a spoiler. He breaks up the play and he moves the ball very quickly. Usually on the ball, Kante takes 2-3 touches maximum. He doesn't break the lines with passes. His range of passing is very limited. He doesn't carry the ball very well. He's not a dribbler. He doesn't shoot very well. He doesn't score many goals. There's loads of things that Kante does not do. What Kante's main strengths are is his energy, his speed across the floor, his tenacity and his pressing. All of which Fred has and does. They're similar height, they're similar stature. They're both very small men. I think Kante's like 5'5" or something. Fred's about 5'6". They're both similar in build. Fred's more muscular, but they're similar in terms of their stature. Fred is probably quicker. Well, he is quicker. You know what I mean? He's one of the quickest players at the club. Fred's a better passer of the ball. He has more range of passing. He's two-footed as well. He shoots better. Fred takes set pieces. He takes free kicks. He takes corners. He's just a better all-round footballer than N'Golo Kante, bruv. But because N'Golo Kante's had 4 years to settle into the Premier League, and he's been consistent for, say, 3 of the 4 seasons, because last season under Sarri, when Kante was moved forward, you saw his limitations. He's not very good on the ball. So when you play him in a more advanced role where the pitch is more congested, Kante doesn't really enjoy it. There's more space playing in that deeper role because you can just pick up the ball off the centre halves or break up the play and move it along. You've usually got one striker pressing you instead of having 3 or 4 players around you. Kante is not very good in tight spaces like that because that's not his game, because he's not super technical. Fred is. So when you're comparing the 2 players, Fred's got way more about his game. He's not just someone that breaks up the play. He's someone who controls the tempo of the game, which Kante doesn't do either. He's a transition man. He passes it on to the next man to control the tempo. So when man are saying, nah, you're mad. No, Fred is better than Kante. If you understand football in its essence, yeah, Fred is a better player. Kante's performed at a higher level more consistently than Fred. Yes, he has. But he's had 4 years in the Premier League. This is Fred's second season, and in the first season, he wasn't played, and this is his first consistent run of games that he's had in a worse team than Kante came into. So I honestly, like, when people are like, right, you're deluded and that, no. Because when I told man that Fred was a very good player, bare man were telling me he was shit and get him out the club, and now all of a sudden everyone's on the Fred wagon. So understand when I'm telling you, I'm not saying this just to gas man up. Like, Fred is actually a better footballer. He is. So you, man, like, the guys that don't understand where I'm coming from, watch Kante for a whole 90 minutes. You will see how, and not in a disrespectful way, how limited his game is. He's very good at what he's good at. What Kante is good at, he's 9 out of 10 at it. But he's not good at many things, which is why he can only play in that position. With Fred's attributes, I could play him as a left fullback comfortably because he can get up and down, he can pass, he can cross. I could play Fred central midfield. You could play him defensive midfield, you could play him attacking midfield, and you could probably play him on the wings as well because he's technically good enough. So if man still don't understand where I'm coming from, then what can I say? I can't help you. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section, guys. All right. Next one. Okay, it's you again, bruv. At DJ Andy. Bruv, I just read the questions, and if I like the questions, I choose them. I don't care whose they are. Do you agree with Souness's proposition that the offside rule should switch to, as long as there is any part of the body onside, then you should go by that, as opposed to any part of the body being offside? Absolutely. And let me tell you why. I love basketball. The reason why I love basketball is because it's a high scoring game. And the reason why Americans love these kind of sports and they don't really vibe with soccer is because, one, they don't believe in draws, and two, they like to be entertained. To be entertained in football, you want to see high scoring games. You want to see the benefit of the doubt given to the attacker. That's what they used to say it was. If there was daylight, this, that, and the other, and it's offside. My argument is, yeah, the whole ball has to cross the line for it to be a goal. So, for it to be offside, the whole body should have to be offside. That's the most simplest way that I can explain it. Because, actually, what advantage do I have if we're both sprinting for the ball, yeah, but both of our feet are in line, but my shoulder's ahead of your shoulder? That's not an advantage because our feet are in the same place. Do you see what I mean? Like, that's not an advantage. I'm seeing certain offsides being given because the armpit, like, how's that an advantage? The benefit of the doubt needs to go to the attacker. As far as I am concerned, I don't want to hear or see anything else. Anything else is shambolic to the game of football. Like, it's hard enough getting neutrals into football anyway when you're seeing dead nil-nils and stuff like that. But if attackers are given the benefit of the doubt, it will make the game more exciting. And also, I'm so tired of being at a football match and not knowing what the hell is going on, because them man are doing some VAR nonsense for things that are not even clear and obvious. Like, we need to decide what constitutes as clear and obvious, because Van Dijk handballed something, it wasn't clear and obvious, and then the ball gets fizzed over and Liverpool score, and then it's getting wheeled back to VAR. But it's like, how far back are we going, bro? Like, do you know what I'm saying? I saw in the Real Madrid game against Paris Saint-Germain or something, where they wheeled the VAR thing all the way back like 15 seconds and gave a foul up there and all that. No, the things are shambles, man. I think VAR needs to be put in the bin. Let me know what you think about the offside rule and VAR. Okay. What's a successful season for United with this current squad? I think I've kind of touched on it. For me, I said that Solskjaer shouldn't finish. Well, I expected United to finish 5th, but with seeing how badly Arsenal and Chelsea are playing at the moment, I think that with this squad, we should probably get top 4, because if we say Leicester are going to get third, which isn't a given, they could drop out. I don't think that Tottenham are in a better place than us. I don't think Chelsea are in a better place than us. They have more points than us, but the only way I see Chelsea actually getting ahead of us, is if they strengthen in January, which I have reason to believe that they may. So as it stands right now, with no signings or whatever, I'd say that a successful season would have to be top four for us. Anything less than top four is not successful. Fifth is where I expected to finish, but also I think a better manager definitely gets us top four. I think Pochettino gets us top four if we had him now with these players. Let me know, guys. All right. Alpha Music. It says, what's been your top 3 best moments as a United fan in 2019? I won't do top 3 worst moments. Top 3 best moments. PSG. Jose getting sacked. And 2019, that was a long year. I don't remember, Like, I can't remember all the things that's happened, but all I could say is PSG, yeah, was the closest I felt to how I felt in the 2008 final when we won, innit? Like, the emotion. I ain't felt that emotion for Manchester United probably since 2008, to be honest. There was no reason. There was no reason to. Like, we ain't done that or got to like a European final or done something like that. Like, won a European final, since then. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, but what's the third one? I don't know. I don't know the third one off the top of my head. But I'd have to say, yeah, that my best moment has to be PSG. So we'll just go with the top one. Guys, let me know what your top 3 is if you can remember. Or just give me your top 1. I think there's going to be a lot of PSGs in there. All right. And then this last one, it says, it's kind of what I've already touched on, but we're going to read it anyway. It says, after Oli got rejected by some 19-year-old B-Tech Lukaku that he's already trained, why do you think people like Eriksen and Sancho are coming? Well, it says, why do people think Eriksen and Sancho are coming? Oli hasn't got the pulling power like that, and money is not even enough to convince them. Let's not act like the other teams don't have money and they'll have Champions League as well. And that's from T-Dog. 100%, bro. This is what I'm trying to say. And when we're talking about these young players that are thinking about coming to Manchester United now, if they're not British, they're looking at it saying, I can get, even if United offer me loads of money, I can get Champions League football. I can get regular football. I can challenge for a title. All of these things at other clubs. There's no incentive to sign for Manchester United whatsoever. I look at Jadon Sancho and he should want to come to Manchester United. However, well, I know that he does want to play for Manchester United. That doesn't mean that he's going to come to Manchester United, because if someone offers more money, he's a Chelsea fan, innit? Like, he would come to Manchester United, Jadon, absolutely. But at the same time, if Chelsea put in more money for us and both of us had a bid accepted and Chelsea could speak to him, he wouldn't be against going to Chelsea. He wouldn't be against going to Liverpool either. Why would he? Because ultimately, he's in Germany. He's in a very good situation. And for him to change that situation, in his head, he would have to go to a better situation. Manchester United don't have a clear philosophy. They don't know what they're doing. There's not a clear situation. As a player, you want to go to stability. When I looked at players like Fred, players like Pogba and that, if they were going into settled teams as opposed to going into shambolic teams, I guarantee you people wouldn't be questioning how good these players are. I've been adamant about both players, how good they are. The same with Anthony Martial. If he was in a better system, if Anthony Martial was at Dortmund with Jadon Sancho, yeah, no one would be even questioning Martial's ability. You could see the level of a footballer he is. He's different. But playing in an inconsistent team, inconsistent system, there's always going to be question marks. So, I don't know. The people that you're talking about are the same deluded Manchester United fans. I don't want to be grouped in with them. I'm sure a lot of you lot don't want to be grouped in with them. And it's those people that, oh yeah, the badge. The badge don't hold the same weight to the average person, to the casual or anything. Like, it doesn't. Like, we don't want to become history FC. Football is all about what have you done for me lately. In the last 10 years, Chelsea are the biggest club in London. Facts. Do you know what I mean? Like, Arsenal fans can say, yeah, well, we did this and we did that, which is true, and you went unbeaten. But Chelsea have Champions Leagues, you don't. Chelsea got Europa Leagues, you don't. They got more Premier League titles than you in the last 10 years. Do you see what I'm saying? So, as much as Arsenal are technically the biggest club in London because they're the most supported club in London, Chelsea are the best club in London in the last 10 years. So, man are going to go Chelsea before they go Arsenal for that reason. So, we can't be deluded to the fact that football moves on. It moves on. And a lot of these young players, when United were at their glory, these men weren't old enough to be watching football. They don't care about that. They only care about what's going on now. All right. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section. That was your Rants Red Talk today. We've got Arsenal this evening. I predicted 3-1 on the Flex and Rant show. That was before being unsure whether Pogba was starting or not. But you know what? I'm going to stick to my guns. And I'm going to say we're going to beat these guys on the counter-attack. Quick transitional football. I expect Arsenal to have more of the football. I expect us to have about 35% of the ball to 40% of the ball. And I expect our firepower to be too much for them. Give me your score predictions also in the comment section, guys. Big up yourselves. That was your Rants Red Talk. Make sure you download the OneFootball app for all your up-to-date football news. And I'm going to catch you at the other side of the game. Peace.